Cookin. I'm your hostess, Cindy Schumacher. On today's show, we'll be making cranberries gone wild dip, creamy seafood stuffed shells, apple walnut tossed salad, and coconut cranberry bars. So let's get started. We're going to begin with the cranberries gone wild dip. And what I tried to do for this show is to give you some ideas for your holiday entertaining. This is a beautiful dip, and and when people taste it, they can't believe that it's cranberries in it, but it's so pretty because of the green and the red that you use. So I have a package of whole fresh cranberries that I have processed in. You can use a food processor or your blender, whichever. And then we have a 1/4 cup of parsley or cilantro. I don't care for cilantro, some people love it, but so you can substitute parsley for it. I have got some fresh parsley, and a small jalapeno pepper that I have chopped and seeded. We've got 1 1/4 cup of sugar, and we need 2 tablespoons of lime. If you don't have fresh lime, I use the real lime in the bottle. Need a dash of kosher salt. I would imagine you could probably use regular salt if you want to. I happen to have kosher because I use it for my canning. We need a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. We're going to stir that together. We need a bunch of green onions that we've peeled and chopped. And then what you want to do is chill this for a few hours, 4 hours or so. And then to that we're going to spread our tray with 2 8-ounce cream cheese. You can use whatever kind of cream cheese you like as far as the fat content or whatever, but we're going to put this in the refrigerator and let it chill, and then we'll move on to our next item. We'll take a quick break while I get this cleaned up, and then we're going to work on the bars. Be right back. Okay, we're going to work on our bars now. These are a snap to make. Other than baking them for 25 to 30 minutes, they are so easy to make. So I have 1 1/2 cups of graham cracker crumbs, and I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of melted butter. Mix that together. And we're going to pour that in our 9 by 13 pan. I sprayed it with pan. The recipe doesn't say that you have to, but I'm always a little leery about things sticking in the pan, so I spray my pan. Now remember, all these recipes can be found on the Valley website, and if you don't have the internet, give the girls a call. They'll be happy to get you a copy of the recipe. These bars too, they look so pretty. You can take them to a cookie exchange, or serve them for a casual supper, but they're festive because of the cranberries. Okay, so I've got my crust patted out there, and now all we do is just dump the rest of the ingredients together. So we have 1 1/2 cups of vanilla chips, and we have 1 1/2 cup of dried cranberries, 1 cup of flaked coconut, and 1 cup of whole pecans. I'm just going to kind of flip those together here before I add the can of sweetened condensed milk, so that they mix up a little better. These kind of give you the impression of like 7-layer bars. They're kind of like that with the coconut and everything, but they're just a little prettier with the white chips and the cranberries. Stir them together good so that you don't have, something concentrated in a certain area. Spread them all evenly, and then all you do is spread it across your graham cracker crust. And be just a little bit careful when you spread so you don't pick up some of that crust with your spatula. Okay, so it looks like this. We're going to put it in the oven for about 25-30 minutes. You want to watch it depending on your oven so that it doesn't get too dark, but you want to just start to brown along the edges. And we'll take a quick break while I get rid of this, and then we're going to work on the seafood shells. Be right back.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
Okay, we're going to work on our stuffed seafood shells. I have a teaspoon of butter melting in a little saucepan. I'm going to saute 2 tablespoons of red onion that I have finely chopped and 2 tablespoons of green pepper that I have finely chopped. We'll kind of just get these tenderized just a little bit, and while we stir together the other ingredients. In the meantime, I'm going to start my fourth cup of butter melting here for our sauce. Okay, so we're going to combine 12 ounces of crab meat. You can use canned crab or whole crab. I'm using the imitation seafood crab that's made out of fish actually, but it'll give you 2 different textures. If you buy the crab meat in the can, it's really fine, and so I thought I kind of like the chunkier, so I've chopped it fairly fine. And then we have 5 ounces of shrimp, and I've used, actually, you can use canned shrimp here, or you can buy the frozen pre-cooked shrimp and just chop that finely. And blend those 2 together. Okay, I have an egg lightly beaten. Throw that in there. And a half cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. I have a 1/4 cup of mayo. If you want to cut some calories, you can use a reduced fat. I'm using the whole fat. Okay, we have a teaspoon of seafood seasoning like Old Bay or whatever. I make my own. 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 2 tablespoons of milk. And we'll get that blended together. Check on these. Okay, now for our sauce, we're melting a 1/4 cup of butter. When that gets melted, then we're going to blend in some flour, about a 1/4 cup, and a 1/4 teaspoon of coarsely ground black pepper. And then we'll add our 1/4 cups of milk and our Parmesan cheese. Give that a few more minutes there. Okay, add these. Now, if I were having a casual dinner for friends to come in, this would be something that I would make. And I would, if you're doing something like a buffet style, like Christmas Eve or something, this is something that's nice and easy to make, and you can put the dish out and let people help themselves. What I would do also with this is, last year about this time, I made the cocktail meatballs with the sauerkraut and the cranberries. That would make a nice accompaniment, because you've got the beef, and then you've got some seafood, and they look pretty and they're festive, and that would make a nice variety for you if you're doing some kind of a little light buffet. I actually cooked the entire box of the noodles, because sometimes these big noodles break up, so I didn't really know how many I would have that were usable. So while I finish filling these, we'll take a quick break, and so you don't have to watch me fill 24 shells, and we'll get the sauce going. We'll be right back.
Get 3 months free access on all lines, plus a new 4G smartphone for only $4.99 a month. 2 great offers with Valley Cellular. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to take advantage of this great deal.
Okay, we've got the seafood shells all stuffed. I've got them ready here. So my butter is melted. I'm going to whisk in my 1/4 cup of flour and my 1/4 teaspoon of coarse ground pepper. Okay, now that's cooking up. Then we add 4 cups of milk. Now remember, all these recipes can be found on the Valley website, and if you don't have internet, give the girls a call and they'd be happy to help you get a recipe. Get 2 more cups of milk. Okay, we'll let that thicken, and the timer just went off for the bars. We're going to pull those. This is how they look. Beautiful. We'll set these up here to cool. Okay, now we'll work on the salad while we're waiting for that to thicken a little bit. The recipe actually calls for 2 bags of spring mix. They didn't have any spring mix when I was in the store, so I bought romaine. You can substitute at will if you want to use a bag of spinach or whatever. So I have a can of mandarin oranges that I drained, and we'll sprinkle that over the salad. I have 3/4 cup of coarsely chopped celery. And I have my cup of toasted walnuts. And if you get a copy of the recipe, I've told you how to toast them. You just put them in the oven and toast them for about 5 or 10 minutes. You keep an eye on them so that they don't burn. You don't have to baste them with any butter or anything like that. So, and then we need our Granny Smith apples. And we slice them nice and thin like this. And then if you're not going to be serving the salad immediately, I would drop them in just a tablespoon or so of lemon juice. I'm going to keep slicing these apples. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Valley is now offering updated digital TV packages and prices. High definition and caller ID is now free with all TV packages. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to find out more.
Okay, our sauce is thickened a little bit. I'm going to add 1.5 cups of grated Parmesan cheese. We'll just get that stirred in. You can use freshly grated if you want. I'm just using the canned grated Parmesan this time. Get rid of all your lumps. Okay. So now I'm going to pour this over the shells. This makes 24 stuffed shells. You can adjust it to make a few more or a few less by adjusting how full you fill them, but the recipe says it has 24. So then I'm going to sprinkle it with a little more of the seafood seasoning. And put it in the oven 350 for about a half an hour. And then we're going to work on our salad again here. I've got the apples all thinly sliced, and so we'll sprinkle those on. This is technically what you would call a winter salad. You know, you don't have to use a lot of fresh produce for it, but and then I have a 1/2 cup of dried cranberries, and that there again, that gives you some color. I'm going to just kind of toss it up a little bit. Okay. And then we'll make our dressing. This dressing is a kind of a sweet, and yet it's tart because it uses fresh cranberries in the dressing. So it uses a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar, a 1/4 cup of fresh cranberries, fresh whole cranberries, a tablespoon of chopped red onion, a tablespoon of sugar. You can substitute a sugar substitute if you want to cut down on the sugar a little bit. 2 tablespoons of honey. And we need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Okay, so now I'm going to blend this together, and I'm going to have Lisa turn off the camera so that you don't have to listen to the noisy grinding, but we're going to blend this up, and then I'll have her tape again so I can show you how we add the oil in. So we'll be right back. Okay, we've got all the ingredients blended here, and now I have 3/4 of a cup of canola oil, and this is where you take the little cap off of your blender, or if you're going to whisk it, it doesn't stay together quite as well. If you could do it this way, your dressing will stay blended longer, especially if you're going to have it in the refrigerator and let it chill for a while. So then I'm going to turn my blender on stir, which is a slowest speed, and then you slowly pour your oil in like this, and then you won't have it separate on you. Okay, I'm going to put the lid back in it, and then I'm going to give it one good high speed to blend it. So then it's ready. I'm going to put it in a container and we'll chill that. And then we're going to make our cranberries gone wild dip.
Valley Telecommunications is pleased to announce that our Technology Solutions Center is fully stocked and open for business. We have a large selection to meet your wants and needs. Some of the items we currently carry are a variety of corded and cordless phones, different brands of tablets such as Kindle Fires and Apple iPads and all the accessories for them, Telekin computers, Epson and HP printers and ink cartridges, Apple iPods and accessories, office supplies, wireless keyboards and mice, cellular phones and accessories, different types of media storage, cameras, headphones, power strips and surge protectors, and much, much more. You can also get your very own Valley swag. Our prices are reasonable and comparable to any other retail store. If there is something that you want or need that we do not currently carry, please let us know so that we can check into it for you. We accept all major credit cards, cash or check. Please feel free to stop by our office and check out our new and improved store for all of your technology and day-to-day business needs.
Okay, we're going to work on our cranberries gone wild dip. I have fluffed up the cream cheese with the beater. It's 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. If you have a pretty Christmas platter, you can do that too, but with the red cranberries, it's pretty much colorful enough, so I'm just using a glass plate. Okay. Now it's as easy as spreading this on. If you have a bigger platter than I have, it looks like I'm running out of space a little bit, but so it looks like that. And then this is to be served with, they recommend serving it with lime tortilla chips. There again, I couldn't find any in the store, so I'm going to be just serving them with some bite-sized Tostitos, and we'll just put them in a bag and serve it that way. So we're just waiting for the seafood shells to be done. It'll be another few minutes, and we'll be right back. But I want to remind you one more time that if you want a copy of any of these recipes, go to the Valley website. If you don't have internet, give the girls a call, and they'd be happy to get you a copy of that. And we'll be right back, and we'll be ready to eat.
Blazing fast broadband internet from Valley is now available and better than ever. Let us help you decide which speed is best for you. The 50 meg speed would be sufficient for 1 to 4 devices, mainly emailing and surfing the web. Our 100 meg speed works great for 5 to 8 devices and multiple users streaming and downloading video. If you have 8 devices or more that are simultaneously streaming or gaming, or if you have a medium-sized business, the 250 meg speed would work best for you. For extreme heavy home or work from home use, or if you have a medium to large business using 15 or more devices, you may want to consider our 500 meg download speed to fit your needs. And if you're a home or business that needs it all, we have our 1000 meg 1 gig broadband internet speed. Call our office today at 437-2615 and talk with one of our staff members to pick the speed that's best for you.
Okay, the seafood pasta is ready. And we'll grab a spoon to dish. A little bit of the dressing, as you can see, it makes such a beautiful holiday dressing, and it's sweet but yet it's tart because of the fresh cranberries that we use in there. So we'll dish some of the. Now I would serve this with some crusty French bread or something like that and we didn't have time with this show with everything else going on, but anyway. Put something else on there to give yourself a little bit of color. And there we have it. We've got our cranberries gone wild dip, our creamy seafood stuffed shells, our apple walnut tossed salad, and our coconut cranberry bars. Thanks for joining us on this issue of Country Cookin', and we hope to see you next time.